not being able to care for your aging parents, relationships back home lacking the same intimacy, leading a dissatisfying life due to the judgment of people back home. The food fills your stomach but not your heart. Cultural adjustment, feelings of isolation. Your family lives a life you're not part of. Missing the weddings, festivals, funerals, moments that matter. Financial pressures, your child growing up disintegrated with your family tree. These are some of the most common struggles that NRIs face. In this video, I'll focus only on 3. Not being able to care for aging parents. Many in our generation living abroad are facing the gut-wrenching guilt of not being able to look after their aging parents. No matter how much you care and feel for them, it's impractical to come home every month. That's not even possible for children living in the same country but in a different city. And it's quite unstable if you're doing that. For NRIs, being physically present often simply isn't possible. Many parents feel hurt or abandoned because they grew up differently, where going abroad was not an easily accessible option. So even if they lived in a different house or city, they were much more involved with their parents till the very end. And they don't see their children abroad doing that for them. The Indian culture is rooted in community. And unless your parents have moved abroad with you and you have house help, the West's individualistic setup isn't built for multi-generational living. In many Western countries, older people live in old age homes, but that's a 4-letter word in India. It's a very heartbreaking situation because people who were out and about when you were growing up were present for school runs, hospital visits, took care of you daily and gave you what you needed, are now in need of help themselves. Definitely physically, but they can't rely on you because you are too far away to help. And I know many NRI folks who go to bed with these mix of emotions. The fear of God knows what news they'll wake up to. The frustration of trying to do their best and yet feeling dissatisfied. And then they have their own set of issues in their own lives. We are all people. At least no one I know is drinking some magic potion from the cup of ecstasy. There are ways to make it work. Try visiting India at least twice a year. If you have young kids, alternate travel with your partner. The world is a more flexible place now. So you can remotely work in India at different hours. But spending time with your family, knowing their health situation more specifically so you can participate in granular discussions, helping them with fitness and nutrition advice, and actually actively making things happen for them in that department will make you feel more relaxed and at ease. The main priority of our parents' generation was survival. So they deprioritize their body. If you want to travel in India with kids, please take a 3rd trip and accept that you will save less. In the end, what matters more? Money or showing up for the people who raised you? This may not work for everyone, but the issue is real, so don't ignore it. Ask yourself, am I truly doing my best and feel satisfied in my heart? If the answer doesn't come quickly, it's probably no. Relationships back home lacking the same intimacy. This shift happens over time because both generations are evolving and so are their perspectives. With each passing decade, dynamics change. When you visit home after a while, you will feel that you did what you thought was best in terms of keeping in touch and being involved, yet it wasn't enough. Your support system, your parents, your loved ones are not reliant on you anymore because you were not there. You were missing from the daily affairs. So they built routines that don't depend on you. That's their way of coping. But it is painful to return home to discover that you're needed less. And when you meet people after a while, if you haven't been involved in their lives, there is an awkwardness that creeps in. And you can't open up immediately or pick up from where you left. It takes time and effort to again arrive at that point where you can be part of conversations that are vulnerable. Love is not enough if you are unable to satisfy the other person's needs. So, what can you do in this situation? Firstly, even if you're living in the same house, there can be a distance and lack of emotional intimacy in relationships. So just take a minute to relax. If you are living abroad long term, identify the key people in your life and understand how you can maintain relationships with them. Ask yourself, what is their need and how can I satisfy it? Some people may need regular communication. Some may need more practical advice, like you being an enabler to sort out their financial setup. Link them up with investment managers and CAs. Because people in the former generation were not necessarily money wise. Or they may need your advice with something else, which you have figured out, like fitness or nutrition. Identify their need and give it to them. If you truly value the relationship, you won't think, why should I make the effort if they don't? And with parents, you have to shed your ego a little bit. Making efforts irons out relationships and ask them for help with something you need in your life. The give and take naturally finds balance, and I don't want to get existential in this video, so I will summarize this point by saying that you will have to take the initiative to maintain good relationships with family back home. You can't change their thinking. Two different generations cannot agree with each other and get along on everything. They are not supposed to. Your children will also grow up to do things differently than you did. But since your parents are aging and can't travel that easily, it's on you to go home more often. Leading a dissatisfying life due to the judgment of people back home. Many in India who haven't lived abroad romanticize the lives of NRIs, imagining, oh, they live in New York, London, Sydney, Berlin, or X big city. Wow, look at that big house. Look at the Mercedes. They're having such amazing weekend parties. Wow, what a life. Firstly, in many first world countries, the system makes it easier to afford these things. And secondly, even with all these things being true, people have a void within themselves. Some can try and distract themselves with buying things or doing activities or being with people to avoid the feeling, but the emptiness is inevitable. The regret that NRIs may have is that I'm not giving my family this lifestyle. So they feel guilty. And it's a valid feeling. Yes, you worked very hard to get the jobs and houses and cars and have a much better lifestyle, but your parents gave you the foundation to get there. There are multiple ways to navigate this. Yes, you can financially contribute and upgrade your family's lifestyle where possible, but taking a yearly holiday with them, if health allows, can be far more fulfilling. Just have fun. As far as judgment is concerned, are these people in the category of people who matter to you? If they're not, the universal truth is that people love bitching. And many of these people are operating with jealousy because they want some aspect of your life which they yearn for. But people will gossip, so you have to accept that.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
The sad reality is that most people are sad. A genuinely empathetic person will understand your life and know that it's not all hunky-dory and see the value you add. They will see it because such people focus on appreciation because they are optimistically realist. If your parents judge you, share the vulnerabilities of your life with them. Pour your heart out. Please don't assume that they won't understand you. You can agree to disagree, and that's okay. It's your life. You have the right to choose where you will live. But you must allow people in your life. People who matter to you. If you like my reflections, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and do share this video. Thank you for watching.